Minibook, ages 5 and up. You can pause here to read materials and instructions. Hi everybody, and welcome back to another art lesson with Mr. Santos. All my art champs at home, I hope you're ready to have a great time. This one's dedicated to all my little ones out there. If you're 5, 6, 7 years old, this lesson is particularly meant for you. However, if you are older than that, feel free to jump in along the fun and have a great time with us. Stories are told in all sorts of ways. It all stems all the way back to the old times when there really wasn't a way to tell a story other than talking about it and communicating with somebody if an experience has happened to you. Maybe it's something funny, silly, embarrassing, even scary. These were the ways that we communicated with each other. Nowadays, we can tell stories all kinds of ways. Movies, cartoons, even video games. Most importantly, books. And there's plenty out there for you guys. I hope you're reading at home. This is my favorite. Whether it's a drawing, a painting, a book, just like what you guys are making, a sculpture, whatever you may have it, artists are always telling stories. There are certain situations where it's up to the viewer to tell the story. Sometimes paintings don't have words. Drawings can't necessarily move on their own. So in a lot of cases, the artist wants you, the viewer, to tell them or tell yourself or tell somebody else what that drawing or painting means to you. In an interesting way, it's almost like you're telling the story for them. Artists out there are doing really unique things, always reimagining and recreating and telling their own really fun stories with art. And that's something that you guys are going to be doing today with these little art books. Alright everyone, here we go. We're going to take this down to the studio where we will create our Minibook masterpiece. Here we go. To start this project off, you will need a single sheet of paper and some scissors. Alright, to start us off, we're going to fold the paper in half the long ways. Just like that. We're going to open it back up and fold it in half, creasing it really nicely. We're going to turn it to a quarter so that the folded edge is on the top and the two flaps are at the bottom. We're going to then take that raw edge and fold it up so it meets the other fold up at the top. We are going to then turn this thing around and do the same thing, just on the other side. After doing that, you should notice how it makes like either a W or an M, however you like to see it. You're going to unfold the flaps, making it nice and flat, just like that. You're going to take that middle piece right there, and you are going to start with your scissors at the fold and cut to the middle crease only. Do a little flappy dance. You can unfold it all into a full sheet of paper. You'll see that the cut is right in the middle. You are then going to fold along that center line, that horizontal center line, and notice how your cut will start to open. That's a good thing. And you'll have like a little cube in the middle. So you're just going to go ahead and push and press it all into a book. And there you go. Okay, here's the Minibook. The thing with it is it's pretty mini, especially compared to my hands. So parents, if you want to get a bigger sheet of paper to begin with, that would probably help, or using smaller writing utensils such as a colored pencil. As you can see, I'm writing the words, important things about me. Kids, you're going to go ahead and write that in the front of your page, as well as perhaps a drawing of yourself. Picking your skin can be pretty difficult, but if you have 64 crayons, what I like to do is take all the skin color ones out, and then what I like to do is kind of put one towards my finger to see which one matches my skin the most. Color in my hair. There is my self-portrait. Be mindful that coloring in really neatly is pretty important and makes your work look cleaner and neater and more interesting. I chose blue for the background of this because I have a lot of red in it, and I think it balances out pretty good. There it is. Opening up to the first page, I want to think about something that's important to me. My family is really important to me. Let me pick a good color that's going to help represent my family. Family can be important to everyone. However, you don't have to make that your first page, but whatever you do, decide on what's important to you. Go ahead and write it down on the left-hand side. Make sure you're coloring it nice and dark so that everyone, you, me, your family can all see the work that you're doing from close, middle, even far away. Now, as you can see here, I'm making a really cool zigzag pattern to decorate my words around. And as I'm coloring in here, notice how I'm staying inside the lines. If you don't stay inside lines or accidentally touch a crayon line that you already made, it's going to cause some smudging. And the reason why is because crayons are made out of wax. So be careful when you're coloring inside those lines, guys. You want this to be really nice and neat. Now that I'm done with the left page, I can go ahead and start drawing my family. I have 3 sisters, so I'm going to draw 3 half ovals or 3 just letter U's. That way I can fill in their hair. They all have different styles of hair, so I'm making sure I draw their hair and their ears, and I can fill in the rest later. Yes, I have 3 sisters, a mom, and a dad. Me and my family, we're Filipino, and all of my sisters are older than me. In the Philippines, or in Tagalog in Filipino culture, we like to call our older sisters ate. If I were to be an older brother, which I'm not, you would call me kuya. But since these are my 3 older sisters, I call them all ate. Now, since all my ates have different hair, I'm just going and thinking about or imagining how their hair looks. If you don't feel like imagining, you can always look at pictures of your family. My youngest older sister, if that makes any sense, her favorite color is pink. My middle sister's favorite color is purple, and then my oldest sister's favorite color is blue. So this can just be a way to make all your siblings look different if you have a lot. I wonder how many siblings you have. Do you have 1? None? A lot? 60? I'm just kidding. Anyway, I'm just gonna finish drawing my family right here. I'm coloring in their skin colors, now their eyebrows and eyes. Because I'm using crayons, it's really hard to get all that detail in there, so these are going to be very cartoony looking sisters. I hope my ates are all okay with that. And now that I'm done drawing my ates, it's time to draw my parents. I'm going to draw my dad up here and my mom up there. They are a lot older than us, so I figured to put them up higher. We all respect our parents. Now, coloring my dad's shirt red because he really likes to color red just like I do. My mom really likes to color purple. And I'm just going to color the skin colors. Oh, look at his neck. It accidentally got smudged in by the black crayon because that area was so small. So I'm just going to go ahead and be okay with that. And color the rest of my dad's face in. Perfect. Now my mom's skin color as well. Go ahead and start drawing her hair. Making sure I draw the outlines first and then color it in really nice and gently. And I can probably draw I can draw some small details for the face. Again, since this is a crayon, I'm not going to get the most detail out of it. And that is my family. Yay, family. Moving on to the next page, it's pretty much up to what you want to put down, but I figure you guys might want to know my favorite hobby. And I'm not really sure if you guys could guess this, but my favorite hobby is actually basketball. And despite the fact that I'm not really that great at it, I'm still going to go ahead and draw this anyway because I still love it. Last time I did a zigzag pattern, so this time I thought, let's make it a little different and make a nice little cloud pattern of a line. I'm coloring it in and coloring in a shadow for it, making sure it's a little darker, and color that in. Since this was a cloud, I figured to adding maybe some raindrops coming out of it because raindrops splash, and what I like to do is make sure my basket splashes into that net, but unfortunately it doesn't. One can only dream, right? Anyways, as I'm finishing this up, I want to show you guys how I draw a basketball. I simply start with a orange circle and draw that right there. I like to start at the top with a black letter U. Go ahead and split that in half with a vertical line that's curvy, and a curvy horizontal line, and finally another letter U at the bottom. This to me is one way to draw a basketball. Now to show you guys how to show movement, I'm going to draw some movement lines to make it look like the basketball is heading into the hoop. Now for the hoop, I like to do an oval. And once I'm done with the oval, I start with a net. To draw a net, I do a bunch of curvy lines, starting with the outside, working on in with the same exact curvy line, just repeated over and over again. I do a repetitive curvy horizontal line as well to make it look like a net, because nets are frequently moving. You have a rectangle around it. And there's my basketball hoop with the basketball. Whether you're a student, an adult, whoever knows me knows that I love food, so my final page is going to be about it. As you can see, just a friendly reminder, when you're writing, make sure it's nice and dark so that we can all see it. I'm going to go ahead and spell out my favorite food. And time to think of a new pattern for this. And this one I kind of struggled with because I already did curvy lines and I did zigzag lines. So I'm just going to do a round line right here and have lines radiating out of it like the sun almost. I'm going to color that in with some red. As you guys know, red and green are actually complementary colors. So if you ever look at the color wheel and look to the opposite side of red, you'll see green. So I figured it'd be a good pattern to create onto this design. I wonder if you guys could guess my favorite food. I wonder what your favorite food is. Anyways, I'm going to do a rectangular plate for this food. Not all plates are round. I'm going to start with some curvy cylinders. I wonder if you guys can guess what this is. You have 3 seconds to guess. If you guess sushi, then you are correct. Oh man, Mr. Santos is obsessed with sushi. I really do love fish, and I love rice, and I love soy sauce, so mix it all together, and it is my favorite type of meal. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw some sushi. This is drawing what I know. If you are drawing pizza or burger, or whatever kind of food is your favorite, just refer to your shapes to help you remember how to draw these certain foods. Alright guys, well that was my demonstration for my little book that you guys are going to be making. Again, this is the cover with the drawing of myself in it that says important things about me. And when you open it, I got my family here. See, it's my dad, my mom, and all my sisters. And again, in Tagalog, which is one of the Filipino languages, we call older sisters ates. Okay? I call each and every one of my sisters ate. Here is my favorite hobby. I just love playing basketball. Doesn't mean I'm great at it. And my favorite food. Oh, Mr. Santos just loves sushi. Just thinking about it right now, it makes me really hungry. So anyways guys, I look really forward to seeing you guys making these little books. Feel free to use bigger paper because obviously this is really tiny, and to be quite honest with you guys, it was really difficult for me to work with that when I was using crayons, because crayons they make pretty big lines compared to colored pencils. This might be a better project for colored pencils if you have them. However, I know most of you guys have probably crayons at home, so feel free to send me the artwork that you create. I really look forward to seeing what you create. Guys, it's been really fun. Remember, you can always be creative art champions at home. I look forward to seeing what you guys create. Take care and goodbye.